Sure, I'm supposed to be in charge now, but you can do all my work for me. Not that I was even doing it in the first place. My father would have probably preferred you anyway. So it's a win-win situation. Win-win. Happy, yay. Forcing a big smile, I clap him on the back. It's my first friendly gesture towards him, but Hao only glares and shakes his head. Again, he points back at the practice room. Lian Shi. He's talking about Lian Shi again. Talk about a one-track mind. Okay, I hereby proclaim you as the orchestra's official conductor. Congratulations. I mimic a couple conducting hand gestures, then point at him and grin. Conductor, you, yay. Hao stares at me like I'm a lunatic, but finally nods. But if you don't want to get arrested, you're going to have to change some things about your conducting style. Not sure how else to explain. I grab some paper from a recycling bin and start doodling. Okay, this is you. Happy Hao. Happy conductor. He's like, God damn it. If you want to stay a happy Hao, then there's 3 simple rules you need to follow. Rule 1, no yelling at the musicians. No, Hao, that's not good. Yelling is bad. Making people cry is bad. He's like, what the fuck? Rule 2, no throwing chairs. Throwing chairs is... How are you saying that's okay? Bzzt, wrong. Throwing chairs is bad too. Last but not least, rule 3, absolutely no locking people inside the practice room. It's very bad. Get the picture? He's so angry. And you know what happens to people who are very, very bad? We call the police on them and they go to jail, and then Happy Hao will become a very, very sad Hao. It's like, alright, I get the picture. Okay, so everything should be clear now. You conduct, the orchestra plays, nobody cries, and nobody gets arrested. Happy endings all around. Deal? I extend my hand towards him. Hao regards me briefly before clasping it in his own. We shake. We're Chinese. I look forward to working with you too, assuming that's what he's saying. When I announce Hao as the new conductor, the orchestra's response is actually quite positive. I guess after going so long without anyone competent, they'd probably welcome any raving lunatic as long as he could keep them on beat. It helps that Hao is making a more concerted effort to maintain his cool. I can still see him flinching with every sour note, but at least he refrains from grabbing anyone's instruments. And now that they aren't as petrified by fear, the orchestra is also getting more used to Hao's conducting style. Even if they can't understand what he's saying, Hao's clear, clean hand gestures speak for themselves. I can already hear marked improvements in everyone's playing. Well, well, who would have guessed that it actually does help to have a conductor who knows what they're doing? This song is giving me slightly less of a headache than before. Alright, now that everything's settled, time for my nap. Yawning, I lay my head down on the piano keys. My eyes have only been closed for a minute or two when something hits me in the back. Huh? Confused, I look down and find a cake of violin rosin lying at my feet. Hao's voice rises over the sounds of the orchestra. Sona, you practice too. Did he seriously just throw that at me? My disbelief quickly turns into annoyance, snatching up the rosin. I chuck it straight at Hao's head. Without missing a beat, he extends his left hand and neatly catches the incoming block. God. His expression never even wavers, even amidst the gasps of all the players. Whatever, he just got lucky. As I lie back down, the rosin hits me again. Hey, cut that out! Some of the players start to snicker, but Hao silences them all with a severe glare. Shooting him a glare of my own, I make a point of yawning, stretching, and flopping carelessly all over the piano keys. The next thing it hits me on is one of Hao's black dress shoes. You took off your shoes to hit her? The heck? How'd he pull that off? Literally. Must be my imagination, but I think I see a corner of Hao's mouth twitching into a smile. Oh my god, fuck you. Like you're getting the best of me, you stupid musical ninja. I roll under the piano where Hao can't reach me and stay there for the rest of practice. By the time practice finally ends, I can't wait to head home. So I'm more than a little annoyed when Hao stops me from leaving with everyone else. Practice is over, Hao. Zaijian. More incomprehensible Chinese, probably a lecture of some sort. What's that, Hao? Did you say I should go home and take a nice long nap to make up for the nap you deprived me of before? Why, thank you. How thoughtful. I'll get on that right now. I try to twist away, but Hao's grip is surprisingly strong. New conductor or not, I'm growing fonder and fonder of the idea of flinging him into the wall. Seriously, Hao, don't give me any more of your crap. I got enough of that during practice. Zaijian. Undeterred, Hal pulls a flyer out of his suit pocket. I instantly recognize one of my father's publicity photos at the top. Underneath is an old listing of my father's scheduled appearances for the year. One date in particular has been circled several times in red ink. 2/14. Oh, did you want to help out with the Valentine's Day concert? Hal nods as I indicate the date on the flyer. Vivaldi. Vivaldi. He's shaking his head at Vivaldi. Maybe he's wondering why the orchestra was practicing Vivaldi's Spring Concerto for a concert in February. Well, if he's so concerned, he can choose new songs himself. Grabbing a pen, I scribble a numbered list onto the flyer, right next to the concert date. After each number, I jot down a bunch of big question marks. Hal frowns disapprovingly as I shove the paper back in his hands. There you go, Hal. The concert set list is completely up to you. Have fun. Again, Hal grabs my arm before I can leave. Oh, come on. A fancy pants conductor like you can decide one measly set list by yourself, can't you? Apparently not. After dragging me to the nearest chair, Hal hands me a thick stack of sheet music from his briefcase. Oh, God. I ruffle disinterestedly through the songs he's given me. Bach, Mozart, Debussy. I don't even bother to hide my yawn. Hal glares reproachfully and shakes his finger at me. Such disrespect. We gotta practice for this concert in February, and you have to choose set lists, and you're being just disrespectful, and yeah. He's scolding me for disliking these songs, isn't he? How self-righteous. I already said he could choose whatever songs he wanted without me. If he insists on making me stay, then he's gonna have to deal with my opinions. Ugh, how boring. Do you want to put the entire audience to sleep? I pantomime falling asleep on my own hands. I didn't know it was possible for Hal's glare to get any harsher, but obviously I was wrong. Oh my God. I pretend to fall asleep while he's talking, which earns me a smack from his conductor's baton. Ow, fine. You want to know what I think, Hal? I think classical music is as dull as dirt. I wouldn't pay to listen to any of these songs unless I had a bad case of insomnia. It's no wonder I can't stay awake during orchestra practices. I personally actually love classical music. It's beautiful. It's incredible. It's just holy hell impressive. Like this. Watch. Picking up the sheet after sheet of music, I make a sort of yawning and dropping onto the floor after looking at each one. Seething, Hal snatches up the fallen pages. One by one he jabs his fingers at the names of the composers. These are great composers. How dare you disrespect them? What, so you'll love any song that has a famous name slapped on it? That's so freaking pretentious. People should love music based on the music itself. No more blind worshipping of old dead guys and crap. But, to be fair, they do make fucking incredible music. I knocked on the papers Hal was waving, which makes him even more agitated. You're getting nowhere. You're speaking two different languages. You're possibly even talking about two completely different things. You might be saying that all these people are boring, and he's probably saying we need to choose a set list. It doesn't matter. You just need to choose a set list. Why are you not being responsible like your father? I can tell from Hal's tone that he's scolding me again. I don't understand what he's criticizing me for, and that annoys me even more. The fucking hiss. You know the other reason I hate classical snobs like you and my father? You suck all the life and joy out of music with your stupid forms and conventions. Just look at classical concerts. You can't show up in comfortable clothes. You can't stand up and cheer. Heck, you can't even clap in appreciation unless it's at certain times. Well, that makes sense.